good. I should still be on the night bus. So, I got on. Yes. Okay. Forest 4. We may have a few friends on here. We will see. So, I completed all of the things for Community Day. Now I'm just going after guaranteed runestone, or guaranteed drops from my runestone.
I give up. You can win. Yeah, there's that one.
Some people from the Hive are on this server. I found them while I was waiting for Brad. It was an accident, and I got asked to beam for someone, so I just stayed and beamed while they were there. So, hopefully, things will be good. So, one more professor, hopefully.
That was my last
This is a case of sitting there saying the profession in your mind does not make it so that that's who's going to be thrown on the bus. Or in the chamber with you. That profession. Kind of like the joke, saying the foundable names doesn't mean that you'll end up with the foundable you want. So, we'll see what happens here. Hopefully this is a good server. I've had both. I was really good on the servers, the people in the servers, up until I hit the dark chambers. And then I ran into some that were obviously in for just Community Day, trying to get their things. So I stayed in. I didn't get mad at it or anything. I understand. I mean, it's not really fair to them. If they aren't as skilled and they want to complete the Community Day stuff, and yet they're being made to fight when they aren't ready. I get that that's difficult. I totally get it. I have no issues with it. And it was obvious that that's what it was, because it was an Auror that went after an acro and then finally died, and then died because of it. And then when I healed them, they stayed out the whole rest of the time. And they were the only Auror we had with us, so that was kind of difficult.
I stopped off and said hi to Paul. It's okay.
And his son, it looks like one of his sons was there too.
Look at all those cars, Lexi.
Hey, I hit defend myself. So Danny, I was so glad to have his help earlier today. See, everyone's still good. Yes, let's go after the easy hits.
See, Lexi? I have no roads. My roads just disappeared here. But I do have the Pokestops and all that.
So I happen to know Steph's working on dinner, so she probably won't join us. And Jen's busy riding the night bus, which is what I'm doing right now. So whether she'll join us or not, I don't know. like everyone's still good. Let's go after this one. And everyone's good. So now we just wait. Purple, yellow, and green are the ones I'm going to keep an eye on and see who needs, see if any of them need some more boosting.
All the tires will grow in there.
Now it's yellow and green.
It's a copy of our van.
Just green
Oh,
now.
I was looking at that.
Anyway, I was grateful for Danny's help earlier. We found some barrels that we can use, like the ones that you can use to make compost containers out of. And for like $15. So I wanted 2 for me, and Jade had said he had a friend that had been looking for some. And so I figured, okay, I'll just do that, or grab one for him just in case. And if not, then I guess I can make 3. That's fine. It's not a problem to make 3 for us. Or give one away or whatever. We'll see. So I got 3. And then I had to pick them up, and my dad had a empty trailer on the back of his 15-passenger van. So that's what he told me to use. And then they had this small alleyway that they wanted me to go into to get it. So I had to back one way. I do not like backing that thing. Now we need a oar for sure. I prefer to have Maggie Professor or rather than 2 Maggies, but it's the way it is. We'll deal with it. Okay, I'm gonna go in after this so that. Okay, he's already gone after it. I am not going after mine yet because it is a elite.
No, you're still on.
And I don't want to do the elite until I drop the charm for it. And it makes a huge difference to drop that charm. And we've got one issue. We've got an aura I might have to heal that might take some of mine too. So I'm going to have to watch that. Okay, we're good. Now I can go in after this. So some people have said, what do you want? What do you do first? Do you hex the Erklings, or hex the elites, or the regulars? Well, once I've dropped that, your elites are a lot easier to beat, as you can see. So drop it on the regulars first, and then if you have extra, drop it on the elite. And I don't know if that's the professor or the aura that has it. And I may have to run. We'll see. Because there's one that makes it easier to beat the foe.
That's roar.
Okay, so it's the ores.
I just completed it. And taking out the guy's nose. Just like that.
But don't... So I know you have one that's first strike. But there's also one that you can drop on a foe that helps whoever's against the foe. Period. And whether it's yours or
I think that's
Caden's.
Professor. I think that one is Professor.
But it's per foe. Not
I can
all
actually,
over.
or again, I can hex the foe.
Okay, so it's you.
I can hex the foe.
So, but don't drop the hex if there's regular foes. Don't drop the hex on an elite. Don't waste, especially when you're in a higher chamber. Don't waste the hex on an elite foe unless that's the only thing that hasn't been hexed. Because once I drop mine on the my thing, this one, it's 150% off. Whereas the regulars don't have that. So now you've got 150% plus that, and then your regulars you're fighting at full strength. Instead, hex the regular foes. Let me drop the bravery, I think is what it's called.
I need to stop. Let me know, kid.
And... or the Magi, let them drop it. And then your elite foes are going to be easier to beat, period, even without the hex, than your regular foes. So that's something to keep in mind if you're a Auror. So, and I'm going to say this so that they can hear. I don't know if they're going to try later today or not. But especially when you get in the dark, the Auror gives the professor 1 or 2 or 3, I can't remember, somewhere in there, of their focus, because the Auror can do that. That way the professor can drop their charm. And then once the professor has dropped their charm, then you start hexing things. Unless the Magi-Zoologist has not dropped theirs. At which point you could give see if enough has been beaten that the Magi would actually have 12. We start out with 5, so that means we would need 7 other focus to be our best when we drop our charm on everyone. So, just something to think about when you're playing. Hopefully we get an Auror here. If not, I'm going in with 2 professors and a Magi. And now it's just a professor and a Magi. Now it's 2 Magis and a professor. I'm still waiting for an Auror. Hoping for an Auror. If not, it's going to be interesting. Okay, 2... Ah, yes!
That's a big dog.
One of the reasons I don't care about Remo, actually. You know why?
So the reason I go in right off the bat is I'm trying to help me get that 7 focus. And then hopefully be able to quickly get the extra 5 so I can fight harder.
Answer, yes, I do have Barney.
Some people, I will tell you this right now, some Magi-Zoologists will not drop our charm until they have their 5 so they can hit the strongest.
few Pokemon.
My feeling is I've seen too many people go straight after the elite and don't give me a chance to drop this. And if they don't give me a chance to drop it, then they're not as strong against it until I can get that dropped.
Okay.
So that's why I try to drop it pretty quickly. Obviously, this guy was pretty easy, but it might have been a one-hitter had I had my 5 elite or 5 focus. As you saw, I did not have my 5 focus. You can see I'm weaker against the Acromantula than I have been in the past. So I have started to see that. I don't know why originally my game didn't do that, but now it is. And the reason the Acromantula is not touching me is the professor dropped theirs and then they dropped a shield on me. So what they do is they're shielding, professors are shielding the first person. Like they drop their thing and then they shield the person in red, and then they go through and work on shielding the rest. Let's see, everyone's good. Okay. So I can go after my
jumping on that feature, Lexi.
What feature?
The avatar on Facebook.
I'm not.
I have. So is Christian.
Why can't I get 4 quests, Caden?
Because you have a full quest reward. Duh.
Shut up.
And I think this, or it may, I'm not sure, but maybe one that's after just trying to complete. This is where it would be nice to get Caden and Brett on the same buses, or same server as me. So, in my mind, the same bus. Because then we can try and help them move up, or try and help them get their community day done, and Lexi too if she wanted to. But I don't know if they want to bother with it or not. With the night bus, there would be plenty to hit Dark 5. But I would recommend only one low person. And if you're a lower, if you haven't maxed out, and you're the only one on the bus,
Stupid Schmeagle.
starting in like the mid-tower ranges, you're the only one of your profession on the bus, maybe jump off, or not completely off, but jump out of the room and then go back in when it restarts.
One ball broke out and ran.
Do you know who I'm going to make
Because
Lexi probably knows.
that can help carry better. If you're the only one of your profession on the bus, it can be a lot harder. Also, if you're the only, or if you are a lower profession, let the other person drop their charm. So if you're a Magizoologist that hasn't maxed out, and you're on the bus with another Magizoologist, wait and see if they're going to drop the power versus
Look how awesome this
so
guy is.
I think it's called bravery. Wait and see if they're going to drop it.
I don't know how they can do it, Dad.
Because if they will,
I think it was Eric.
they're maxed out, you're at 150.
Look at this. Play with
If not, yours is lower.
What?
if you
How?
haven't maxed out
How on earth? What?
that
Kind of
research.
One up them. Let's see.
The same with the professor. The professor's one
Look what
has
Eric's rocking.
this one, the
What?
professor's proficiency has the
What's he
ability
rocking?
to
They're a
be
lower level, yet they're able
at
to get through it.
What?
different levels.
He has a Shadow Entei, Dad.
So that's just
No matter
something
how
to think
hard I
about
tried to beat them, Lexi.
when you're going in. Could someone drop a stronger charm than you if you aren't maxed out?
So I'm wondering if they made it easier for lower levels, Caden.
Yeah, but I don't really care.
If you aren't maxed out, then see if someone can drop the stronger charm. At the same time, don't sit there waiting for them like the whole game. Give them a little while, but if it's clear, like if with a Magi, if you have 7 focus and they haven't dropped that charm yet, or not 7, if you have 12 focus and they haven't dropped the charm yet, go ahead and drop it, because they may be waiting for you to drop it, or things like that. Especially since you're out there, if they're not in fighting and you have 12 focus, then go ahead and drop it, because either 1, they don't know what they're doing. 2,
Nothing here, Caden.
they may, for some reason, they've chosen that they aren't going to use that, and maybe they've healed people and different stuff like that instead, and so it needs to be dropped.
No?
I have had some cases where
Absolutely not.
it's almost near the end before I can drop it, because everyone keeps dying.
Lexi.
That is something to be aware of too. If you're lower and you can see people are dying, maybe use your focus to revive them, rather than have the other person use their focus. Because if you use your focus to revive them and the other person's stronger, has the stronger charm, then they can get that out sooner, rather than having to revive whoever may die in between. So there is that too that you could do to help the team out. Also, don't waste the healing until you're at that point where you've got 5,
Get the Shadow Mode too.
plus you've already dropped the thing, plus you have enough that if a couple of you die, you're still good. Now I really hope we get an aura in
Never
here.
mind.
Nothing there.
Feisty little shrimp.
So they're playing Pokemon Go.
You need to name him Shrimpy.
I'm gonna
Guess
get
it's
enough
just
candy
me and a
for you.
professor.
Enough Mudkip candies, Lexi.
So this
All the-
one's
all the
going
way
to be
red
harder
purified.
for me to prepare the room for Elite, because we're going to have less things to go after. And the professor's going to have more problems dropping theirs too, because there's less things to go after, and because there's no auras to pass them any focus. Drop that, so because I can see they've got an Elite. They may wait for it, but might as well just get it dropped. Now, I'm only going to go after this a couple times. I do not feel bad going in first this time. The reason I do not feel bad is we do not have an aura in here, so I am not taking first strike away from the aura. That is something to be very wary of. You do not want to take first strike from an oar. So, if you can, if you have an oar that's going in, hitting, leaving, and that's another thing. As an oar, don't just stay in and battle. Go in and hit once on everything. And then once you've got everything hit once, then go back and kill them off. Now, on your things. Now, one thing about that. Don't get mad, especially if someone's going after theirs. But also, if you're a lower level, or if you know you haven't maxed out for strike, go and you're in with another oar, let them go after the first strike.
What did I hatch? Hold up. Oh.
Because they'll deal more damage than you will. So you can have more damage dealt in one strike. And that one is not complained about as much as when, if you go in, hit, and then just keep fighting the acromantula. Because then you're going to get killed. I hate to say it, but you will get killed if you fight an acromantula at a higher level. Especially without a shield. See, this is frustrating. I'm getting low on energy, but at the same time I can kind of see why. So I'm stronger against these than they are. So what I'm having to do is watch my health, and I'm going to have to go give me health. Okay. I hate giving health, but it's the only way. Because it looks like I'm going to have to go after all three. Now, if we had an oar in here too, and they were going after that one, I'd be even more frustrated. I do get why they're doing what they're doing. I really wish they would have dropped their charm. As you can see, I've dropped mine. But the professor has not dropped theirs and is not trying to shield or help in any way, shape, or form. So, this is going to be a long slog one. So what I'm assuming is that this is someone who doesn't know how to play. Really. They know a little bit, but not a lot. And they're just trying to make it through. We will see. Because they should have had enough power enough focus by now to drop theirs that could have helped me all the way through. And to possibly give me a shield. Instead, I'm having to fight. Okay, there.
How cute it is.
They're the only one left, so I have no problem throwing everything to them to keep them alive while they're in fighting. There.
Wow, that is awesome. I saw him start to run, Lexi. Look at him running. Look at the mane of hair behind him too. It's just like
I probably ought to check after this one, make sure I'm still getting gifts. if I'm not getting gifts, I'm going to have to jump off the bus and...
You can find people to do the Verizia, and Caden will do another one for Lexi.
I kind of wish Beezus would leave, but I have a feeling they're not... Oh, okay, now can we get an or at the last second, please?
And maybe Lexi will be lucky and be able to catch it. Oops.
Brett tried to take out the curb.
That hurt. Again. I'm good at that.
Yes!
I'm just stating what happened for this
I'm
stream
good at
as they
that.
hear Caden yell.
I'm good at that. Dad ate there. Yeah, Mom was saying Dad ate there a while ago. That 2 or 3 nights ago. Never go back there again.
I'm willing to, if it's a one-time and I've had decent service before.
Burger King.
I'm just saying, period. If it's a one-time and I've had decent service before, I'm always willing to give someone the benefit of a doubt, or a place the benefit of a doubt.
They also just hired a brand new cook. I know that because it's one of my friends, so that might be the reason.
Kind of like I'm willing to go back to in a little while, maybe not immediately, to where we went last night. But I'm gonna wait for a while. And I have to admit, it was bad enough that I did message. Did send a message about it. But I've had decent experience with it in the past, so I don't get why. Okay, we do not have an or, that's right. So
I will be back. I'm just seeing what they have here.
yeah. Look at foods and whatever else.
Yeah, what?
Foods and whatever else.
I have 83%, so my dad's fine. I'll plug my dad in.
I've got another 40.
I have 83.
Maybe even
I'm taking my phone right now.
maybe even drinks and stuff. So see, as you can see, the professors here have tried. They're doing their best. I have we have both charms down. We have proficiency and bravery. So I know I dropped bravery. As you saw, I dropped it pretty quickly just to get it out. And this is what happens when you've got people who... You can see how much faster it's going against this Death Eater than it did in the last one. That's why that proficiency is so important. And then, if you watch, they just dropped the shield on me, and now look at what's happening. I'm not moving. Like, basically, I'm going to have it pretty easy now. So because of that, I can do that. So, and the professor, so both the Auror and the professor can hex. I watched and one of the professors hexed this one. And because I can hit it stronger and not hurt him as bad, have it not hurt as bad, I'm going to go after this one and let them go after the other one. Or have them just wait for me or the other Magi to go after it. Looks like the other Magi has noticed that I'm fighting hard too and has decided that they're going to sit there and heal me when possible, because I've noticed that a couple times so far. Probably because they realized I'm one of the stronger or because I am okay against it. Okay to strong, so. I thought for a second they left, but it looks like they left and jumped right back in. And I forgot to check. I'm gonna jump off the bus now. I'm not seeing any friends. And I know I have a bunch to take care of. So let's go check out my gifts. Okay, it looks like I still have 5 more gifts I can get. But let's see about... I'm just seeing if one person needs a gift right now or not. No. Oh, I need to check someone else. No. Okay. If you're one of my friends, you should be getting a gift sometime today. Okay, I think so. Goddess has said to go ahead and send her that one. I'm hopeful. The reason that some of these others, most of these others I'm saving, all the ones I am, is I'm after extravagance for you guys. So if you're watching and you see that I'm not sending you a gift, know that you're in the group that I'm trying to send extravagance to. Now, personally, I either want... or not extravagant, the other one. Extravagant too, but you're in the group that it'll either get that I'm trying to send the higher level rune stones to. So just so you're aware, but for me, just send me a regular rune or the extravagant. Don't send the other one. Because I don't use them very much. If you've been watching, as you've seen, I do not use my... Okay, just checking. Okay. Okay. I just had to make sure. I do not use my healing potions. So when you guys send me the ones with healing potions, they just kind of get wasted. Okay, do I have healing around here? No. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I will need to sometime go after... find for sure some toadstools. And specifically go after them, but until then, okay. See, I love those extravagants. I love the regular runes. This one I don't like so much. And I'll show you sometime why. If you saw how many... The essentials are the ones I do not want, but I want to gather them from the fortress because I want to send them to you guys, but don't send me in. I prefer the regular rune to the essential. So if you're on my friends list, just send me, and you're trying to pick who to send what to. Send me a regular rune rather than an essential. I mean, honestly, I'm a magi. I do not need any more healing. Okay, here, let's show you exactly why. Let's see, we're on 97 healing potions. That's, yeah, compared to the rest, that's like, and they just sit there, and they never get used. So, if you are on my friends list, know that, okay, I get that the essential gives more energy than the regular runestone, like more XP. But yeah, there's people who can use that healing potion more than me. Go ahead and let them, and I'll just keep working my way up. So, okay, I'm waiting to see in case one of the Magis decides they're actually going to be good and leave. Yes. That was what I was thinking. So, the reason I was saying that, by be good and leave, is when you have 3 of you in, it really makes it hard for everyone. You really don't need more than 2 of every profession. So, that's something to be aware of. This way we have 2 Magis, 2 Ors. Not the setup I like the most, but I can deal with it. Other than the fact that no one's going in. Looks like someone did decide to send me stuff, which is cool. I am the first Magi. I hope they sent to the professor. I am watching as soon as So what I'm watching for, one, there's nothing for me to go after right now. There's absolutely nothing. But I know if they go after things, then I'm going to get focus. That's going to allow me to drop the bravery charm. Yes, there aren't any elites yet, but it's going to allow me to drop the bravery charm for that time. Now, the other thing it allows me to do right now is watch. Make sure people are strong. Now, my concern is the other Magi has gone against a pixie. That could mean that the other Magi doesn't know what they're doing. I'm waiting, letting myself gather. Let's see if the Magi goes against what they're good at. Good. They did go against what we're strong against. And I dropped mine. So now I can watch the first one. Now, as a Magi, here's another important thing. Do not let that first person die. Do not let them die. The chances of getting kicked out if you do let them die are very high. So watch that person closely. Everyone else you can let die and then heal, and that'll use less of your focus. But do not let that first person die. Okay, it looks like the other person went in again as I tried to go in. And this would be why it's hard to have only one of a certain. This is why I prefer 2 professors and 2 aurors. Because I can't really help the professor out. All I can do is help the auror. I can kind of help the professor out, but not as much as I'd like. And I'm kind of having to watch. There's some signs that the other Magi may not know what they're doing. And there's definitely signs that this professor does not know what they're doing. And I'm really worried about that with them in first place, in that first position. Hopefully while I'm out they don't get kicked out, or don't die and then get kicked out of the game. So what happens is if people die, where's Caden going? He's running around yelling, "Wait up," and then, yeah.
Happy late Mother's Day, sweetie.
We should still have at least one good one around, but that's fine. Huh? What was he saying about not going to be a happy camper?
I think Mindy.
Why? Because we're going to take... Because then I have even more reason to get frustrated at her using... Huh?
Look at that car right next to it. Right there.
Huh? In fact, I was right next to us. Like that.
Okay. It looks like I'm good. This is frustrating. This is so frustrating.
Okay. And me one of those cans that has no caffeine. It's the only drink you had. Unless you want a Sprite Ginger. I don't think you want a Sprite Ginger.
Itty bitty can.
So this, you can see the difference in how slow this time is going compared to the last time. And some of the other times, and that's indication to me some of these people don't know what they're doing.
Do you want the next one?
I'm okay for now.
Anyway, I can put it in here.
If you open it, I'll drink it, but yeah. There's only 7.5 ounces, 15 cents.
Are they regular Pepsi or?
Zero sugar.
Oh, zero. Okay. I was going to say,
I would not want him to drink.
Zero sugar.
that's small. If he was low, a regular Pepsi might. Do you get why I was asking? Okay, so we need to definitely watch.
What's the weather saying, Caden?
Huh?
What is the weather saying? When's our next storm coming in? That'll determine if I soak more corn seed and try putting it in or not.
So the reason I did that is we only have the one left. I do have enough if something happens and they die quicker than I can help them. I can still revive them. But
Sounds like someone's
Wednesday.
I thought that was a guaranteed drop.
Yeah,
Nice
I
one.
will wait. Play it out. If we get a good rainstorm, the corn seed will grow. But if we don't get a good rainstorm,
So,
I will be replanting.
don't you need to just water?
I don't know where the rows are, and the rain would be better because it wouldn't. If you water down the rows or whatever, you'll make the ground so brick hard, and they'd finally sprout. They won't sprout because they won't be able to make
Okay.
it through the ground.
This time?
So, I just remembered why I didn't get a drop. My guess is whoever that professor was in first spot, their community day is over, and so then you don't get the guaranteed first drop. Whoever's in that first spot needs to have. So from now on, I'm going to watch after this one and only go in when it's at 0, so that I can then hopefully get the guaranteed drops. Now, we want not the greatest. Hopefully the professor knows what they're doing. Because if not, this is going to be a crappy game. And I say that because there's only one professor. There's 3 ores. Luckily, there's one of each. I have had times when there's like 3 or 4 Magis and 0 and 1 or 1 professor. And then, of course, everything you get is for the other thing. Okay, did you see how far down that was? A orer came in and got first strike for me on it. That's why orers, if you can, just go in, hit. Now, I'm obviously going to have to help the professor out. And, okay, the professor at least is after their own thing. That's a positive. And I do know the professor has dropped their proficiency charm. So that's positive too, as in it's a okay, it's a sign that they may know what they're doing.
That car is trying to
Get in an accident.
Everyone else I'll let die, but that first person I don't want to let die, because if someone finishes fighting while they're dead before I can revive them, it could kick people out of the room. Now, orers are throwing me like crazy, so now I can start strengthening up everyone. Probably because they got the professor as much as they need and they don't want to sit there hexing. So, either that, I have seen sometimes they'll do that when they think you haven't dropped yours, because they don't expect to see it until later in the game, and I drop it right off the bat. So, there. And so that sometimes is why it's happening. So I will say, if you're an or any of them, if you just double check, make sure they aren't dropping it pretty early in the game, and so that's why you're not noticing. Okay, let's drop this on this one so that when I go in, I don't have someone dying while I'm in fighting. Okay, you can see how much faster this game is going than the last game. That literally is the difference between people playing the way they... Yeah, purple's in again.
So glad I don't live in Salt Lake.
So red is, purple is...
starting tomorrow. You know they're estimating how fast...
Okay, come on, what ores go after...
City, all the way up to Salt Lake City.
Fine, I'll go after... Okay, finally, purple. Thank you. So we've got... Purple's literally called purple. I think Starlight will go after 2. Come on, Starlight. Seriously, Starlight, that's your own thing. Oh well.
Perhaps can you even go in Best Buy, Caden?
Go to Google, yes.
Only line to Hobby Lobby.
They're only letting a certain number in.
Holy line to Ross.
I am so glad I don't have to go to
They're
Ross.
hiring for.
Why are you coming to...
I was gonna
Okay,
circle
that's fine.
around.
Somebody's taking a photo of that line.
Yeah, they had
Holy
somebody
cow,
steal
you ought to
from
take
them,
a
so
photo of
they're
that line and send it to your mom.
They
Caden.
what?
They had someone steal from them recently, so they're hiring people for security.
But that's not why that line's that long, I'll tell you that. That's literally people just trying to get in. But they only are letting a certain, like anywhere, a certain number in at a time. And yeah.
That's just somebody ordering something that they need to pick up.
Yeah, but they started that when... Nope.
You're not going to be able to fit in there.
This
Not just
isn't
that,
for
it's
that.
curbside. Curbside pickup only.
Curbside
place.
pickup only right there, Caden.
I know exactly where it is, too, so.
Cool. I've seen your laptop. It's
Tiny?
oh here.
There's the back.
Look.
See, he's saying, I have enough to go buy.
He is going to pay us, sweetie. Do not worry. He told me that directly.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying yeah. Anyway. I really hope we get a professor in here real quick. Because if not, this should be an interesting battle. The other Auror left because they're worried about that. I think this Emerador either really needs it, doesn't care, feels they're strong enough, or realizes, okay, I'm gonna go after this one. Or has seen me fight before and realizes I know what I'm doing. Of the two...
Hi, I'll be by about 6 o'clock for you. Sound like a plan? I bought you a Coke orange vanilla for you, Mindy. Okay? So you've been working all day. I figure you need a pep up, correct?
So, question, if I take...
It's here in the car, so when we pick you up, it's there.
If I took dog out at 2:15, 2:30...
Mom took your puppy out about 2:15, 2:30.
Do we need to go home
we
first?
Need to go home first to take her out?
Or is she going to be good?
Yes, please. Okay, when Caden gets out of Best Buy, we'll head home and take the pupper out, and then we'll come for you. Okay? Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Okay, so far we're good for me
Yes,
to
please.
do this. So with only 2 of us in here, reason I haven't dropped that 7 yet is I've been watching, and we don't have a elite yet, and I want to hold on to get to have strength to fight harder, because there's only 2 of us in here. Yes, they do reduce the number of spawns, but at the same time, we can get through faster if I'm at least 5 focus. And then I can still have a chance to watch the other person and help them heal if needed. Okay, let me heal up Emma just in case before I go after this. And they finished just in time, but I didn't know they were going to, so. Now this one should be getting hexed, and everything else is my guess that they're going to drop the rest of their focus while I'm fighting. I can't say for sure, but that's usually what happens. And that's why it's reducing as it's attacking, is if they do that. Nope, looks like they're just sitting there waiting for me. Oh well. Okay, forest chamber 4. Hopefully I'm the first in. And why is it acting up? So I don't know if okay, good, I'm the first in. And Amador is liking fighting with me, obviously. Realizes that, yes, I'm still on community day 2, so they're going to get the guaranteed drops. And that I kind of know what I'm doing. Oh, shoot. We need one less ore. We definitely need a professor. Now, the worst with this setup It would be hard if we got another magizoologist joining us. Because it looks like the other 3 don't want to leave. Okay, good. Now we could get a professor and a magizoologist, preferably 2 professors. Though it does appear our professors are kind of disappearing.
Okay, let's go out.
So they would pass my husband who makes my money.
No, they wouldn't. Like I said, I would use your coat. I said,
Drat, 2 oars and me. Okay, leave that one. Go after this one. Do you need me to go try and get you on the sit bus and pipe you up? Okay. Just trying to find out what ones to go on. Okay. They aren't gonna, excuse me, sorry, be able to touch this one, so I'm gonna have to go after it. So in this case, what I'm looking for, I'm the only magizoologist. So I'm looking for who is the strongest, not the weakest, the strongest of all of my things. Because they're going to be weaker against them than I am. So if I go after the very strongest, then if they need to go after one, they can.
How much?
$230.
no, you could not go in, Dad.
I gotta know exactly what.
They just come out.
That's what I thought.
You know how cheap that was, Dad?
$230 plus a $30 year protection plan.
Okay, I'm going to watch Cat for a minute.
We're heading home.
Why is that?
Pup went out at 2:30.
Out at 2:30. Mindy said we need to
Come on,
take
Cat.
Pup out.
Take one more hit. Come on, come on, come on, come on,
Mindy
come on,
says
come
we
on.
need Pup out.
There. Now I can go after my stuff
I
again.
could bring it home.
Makes sense, Caden.
Yeah.
Mindy says, I said, do we need to take Pup out again? And I spoke with her, and she said, yes, please. I told her I have an orange vanilla Coke in here for her, and you know what she said, Caden?
I don't think he's listening.
I told Mindy I have an orange vanilla Coke in
Okay,
here.
I don't know
thinking
which
of
one's
her.
fighting that
You know what
one,
she said?
but there's only 2 left.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go after what I need to and let them switch off, even if one of them's dead when I finish. it's still everyone gets the rewards. So it's better for me to come in, save them some energy by coming in after this one than me sitting out waiting for them. So
I might not go.
I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to go in because energy's not as prolific as they indicated it would be. Okay, we're still okay. We need a professor and an or 2 professors. Okay, we need a professor now.
The batteries you last.
12 hours?
Oh.
Use it.
Okay, I can deal with this setup.
Better warn you when it's at 29%.
Don't. The worst would be if Dee needs coffee leaves. If Dee needs coffee leaves, we're going to have an issue. If Bard Zoltan leaves, we would have been okay. But none of them left. So, first thing I'm going to do is see if I beat to Bard Zoltan. Yeah, I beat.
Steven's like $1,000 top hats.
Stevens is specifically a gaming laptop, just so
Right.
you're aware. So it's not. I highly
not as-
doubt yours is.
No, mine is not as powerful at all.
That's what I was gonna say.
Steven wants powerful, so he got it powerful.
Caden just got something he can get some pathways.
I
and
get
do
that.
homework.
I get that, but yeah.
Why do you make yourself bald, Tommy?
Okay, now you can see I have plenty, and I can wait a little bit. I just dropped that, but I can wait a little bit. Let's see if one of them finishes really quick. I don't like that the only ones in are Dave or are D and okay. It looks like there was one more in that I missed. One of the professors, I think that's D Needs Coffee, is our only professor, knows what they're doing. So that's cool. And the way I can tell is I have the proficiency charm down.
They had a camel hat, Lexi. That even better for me.
So I believe the order of recommended shielding is shield the ores, then shield the magies, then the professors.
That was our
But some of the magies are like, why are you shield everyone else first and then shield me. I personally am in the go ahead and shield everyone else first camp, because honestly, as you've seen, I don't often get very low.
It wasn't bad. See? Just something to.
My understanding, pathways with a bishop's recommendation does not refuse, period.
Correct.
Even then, you have to ask your bishop for an endorsement, which
Yeah, but I'm saying
And
without...
every bishop out there would be given an endorsement for someone trying to further their career and further their lives.
And once you have that, you're accepted into the next group. You can be, which isn't till September, which I will say is part of why I was rolling my eyes. Does that make sense, Caden?
Oh my god.
The end of August, beginning of September.
That's when the fall semester starts.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, your grades have to be B and higher to pass.
But my understanding it's not necessarily that hard to get the B or higher. It's not like it's a given. You do have to do your work and stuff, but the teachers work with you to make sure you're learning.
It looks like Dallas car, just better maintained.
That went on the wrong one, but that's okay.
We won't go there about Don in his vehicle.
Okay, 120. Yeah, I can go in one more time at least. So this is gonna have to be my last time in because I'm the one who needs to walk Pup, I think. Because I think everyone else is having trouble with him. Or with her. Huh?
She'll listen to me.
She does listen to you now? Okay.
Sometimes. Kissing. Sometimes.
Well, I guess you could try. She was just fine this morning with me. Or this afternoon. I like that 13 Oil Junior that looks like Boyle Junior. Oh, come on. One of the... Good. We need a professor in here.
That take up a lot of space, but I still have enough space. Kevin, I go through and get rid of all that.
Come on, Henry.
And that's another reason I don't hit join as soon as someone else joins. Because then if everyone joins and we end up with a group of 3 and one of them leaves immediately, comes in, realizes and leaves, we end up having to go in. So that's why I always wait to join until one, we have a appropriate makeup of people in, or until it's the very end. I hope we get a professor. Yes, I'll take that. We have one professor. Hopefully that professor knows some of what they're doing. And that's what you saw right there is why I tried to go in right at first, because if I can get off 2 or 3 hits and take down one, then I'm up to where I can drop that, and now I can make a decision between what to go after. And yes, this is going to take me longer because I dropped pretty quickly. But then if there ends up being an elite out there, it helps whoever's got the elite. Because I hate to say it, the number of people, even the experienced ones, who just go after the elites, whether bravery's been dropped or not, is pretty high. It's clear that some people have not fought with enough to know that what significance that bravery makes when you're fighting. against an elite. So. And I will give you, not every Magi will cast elite or the bravery pretty quickly. I do it just because of that, because I know what a difference it makes, and we can go through pretty quickly if I do. Now, where are we at? Boyle Jr.'s a little bit low, so let's just drop that on him. Come on, why is there? Now, the reason I'm waiting is because I don't really have one I'm strong against, or even, and I've only got one I'm semi-strong against, and we have 2 ors. They're strong against them. I will go after this.
I'm so tempted with this damn down.
So this is also the speed at which you can go through depends on your players, your casting abilities. Can you get crits each time? Which, as you see, I don't. And luck is part of it. What do you get for what's out there? Okay. And this is other than so damn beautiful as their name is, should jump out. They know we have a professor here. So they should jump out and see if the professor's ready to go in. In this case, it looks like they're just going to go after finishing it off. So, okay. Let's go collect everything. Once again, I did not use any potions. I will get that Baruffios going. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Widen, not extend. The only question is, can you? I don't think you can.
That guy's house and Trick and Grandpa's fields.
True.
Well, they possibly could up here, but what about here?
Yep.
How do you widen it there?
You don't.
You don't.
And then, what about up here? I'll show you where I mean. And so you can't, if you widen, people start expecting, if it's wide on one area, they expect the whole thing to be wide. So, okay, we're good there.
Good thing the ditch isn't there anymore.
But the ditch here is here, and so they can't widen.
Right there.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree. I'm just saying.
Grandpa buried.
So,
We'd be stuck, then I'd have to.
I don't think I'm going to be able to, to keep streaming, because I need to be ready in case one of us is going to take the dog, whether it's Caden or me. And if it's Caden, I'm just going to be ready in case.
She behaves better.
So what are you saying, me or you?
She behaves better with you.
Okay. So I'm going to finish in just a minute. I'm trying to get this energy to hit just right. That I was not trying to go after.
Me?
You going back in?
Guess I'll go after this.
You guys going back?
To go after
You
that
gotta go
energy.
get Mindy. You forgot about that, didn't you?
I might as well just stay in. I've got everything.
Stay home, you mean?
Yeah, is there a problem with me
I
saying?
don't care.
Okay, that energy disappeared that I was purposely trying to go after. So that's okay. Let's go here,
Exploding battery?
here.
Flammable.
Oh.
All batteries, if you smash them, are exploding. In a way. Anyway, okay, I'm going to let you guys go. We'll talk to you later.